"My dear cherub," cooed Dr. Bombay lovingly as he gazed upwards and squeezed the last air bubble from the ketamine solution in his favorite antique BD glass syringe. "My little pork chop, how far we've journeyed together. Let us swim once more with the intergalactic dolphins." Heaving a deep sigh, Bombay flicked a lingering drop of the K towards the ground in tribute to all his homeboys, and with a muttered invocation drove the needle deep into a relatively unabused area of gluteal muscle. No sooner had the good doctor pressed the plunger than a tremendous brouhaha erupted from the waiting room. Without warning, the door to Bombay's office sprung open and a strange character burst into the room. He wore only a pair of curly-toed elven shoes, a stained pink ballerina's tutu that looked as if it had seen better days, and a sweaty wife-beater with the word "Tyke" scrawled across the chest in unidentifiable brown. The stranger's eyes were wildly dilated, and a jug of Boone's Farm apple wine was cradled under one arm. Bombay froze in astonishment, unable to determine whether he'd accidentally injected the ket intravenously, or whether this freaky apparition could really be standing before him. You salad dodger," sputtered the man as a slow stream of wine dribbled from the wavering neck of the jug and gradually soaked the front of his tutu. "Orville Redenbacher warned me about you. Tyke," he whispered, "if that doc ever tries to tell you that your wife has Slobberdigullen syndrome and requires regular manual stimulation of her Grafenberg spot by a trained medical professional, you tell him to keep his damn pale hands to himself." Bombay labored mightily to make sense of what the intoxicated intruder was stammering. Yes, he did recall Mrs. Redenbacher, Miss Pennsylvania Corncob, 2002, and trophy wife of the nearly mummified Orville. Yes, she had required intensive therapy to relieve her hysterical symptoms. Thought the good doc. She had awfully fine blue-footed Galapagos birds, too. Yes. "Boobies, doc, they're called boobies, goddammit!" screamed the ballerino, now slippery with wine and not a little drool. "Yes, you've become quite the ham after a martini or two, much less on 42 martinis and a few cc's of ket. You're higher than the Himalayas. Your eyes are blood red and you don't even realize you're talking out loud. You're acting crazier than my cousin Annabella after she gets into the Datura." "Wicked Annabella?" murmured Bombay, his body lightened with the levitation of his soul into orbit around the earth. "The best flogger down at Barney's Flagellarium? A real old-school dame? A sadist stegosaurus to the kink kids of today? A wondrous walrus of psychedelic discipline who by 8 p.m. on any given night would have scourged a dozen frisky prominent Rotarians wearing Nixon masks? Oh, where could Annabella be wandering today? With a case of pneumo-micro-volcano-silicanosis like she had, it's a miracle she could speak, much less bark out Nazi commands. I wonder if her cat's still as yummy as I remembered." "Cat?" howled the tyke as the wine soaked through the tutu to mingle with his nut juice. "It's called a pussy, goddammit, doc. You're like those astronomers who yammer on about Nibiru without ever mentioning that it's on its way to wipe us the fuck out." Bombay, however, was now well departed from this plane of existence. As the ketamine began to accelerate him towards the Orion Nebula, and his trusty space dolphin companions joined him in type formation, Bombay could almost smell the cosmic jambalaya his friend Dr. Lilly was cooking up for them up ahead in K-Land. "Holy banana," the doctor moaned happily. "There's no place like home."